Hello everyone! Time for a Refinery tier list update. Yeah, this soon, eh? It's been like, what, a week and a half since the last one I've done? Holy shit. So, Askr Trio finally got the Refine. I mean, I was expecting that to be either this update or the one after, but never in my wildest dream did I expect them to botch this so much. And it's even worse considering the setting, right? The setting is essentially, we're going to make so bonus unit gives you more score if you kill unit with them, so we have to buff the Askr Trio so they are actually doing better, so you have at least somewhat of an option as a free-to-play player. So yeah. And then they give a refine to those characters, and it doesn't really help two of them. One of them is just... What is that? You have issues? Fuck them. Fuck them. Alright. Let's actually start. I'll start with Alphonse. This is actually the least botched one of them all. Honestly, it was really hard to fail that one anyway. So, Alphonse. The reason why he's so high, by the way, is not because of the actual refine. It's because his base effect actually gets good. Wow! Because that TA is absolutely horrible. But it doesn't matter what refine you take, you will switch from Defiant Attack 2 to fucking Brazen Attack Def 3, so one hell of an upgrade, and considering you can stack both Brazen together, hell, that's actually pretty solid. 14 attack and 14 def. Guess who actually came up with that idea too, though? I fucking did. This is straight from what I used to make a video about refine of the Askr Trio, like in my opinion video. So yeah, what I basically gave him as a refine was basically what Lynn got, aka Brachiosaurus 5.5. Brachiosaurus Desperation, that means you have a seal slot open for stuff like Heavy Blade, Closed Def if you wish to be multi-phase, stuff like this, but instead what we've got was TA. I feel like this is literally insulting. It does nothing to help him. You're talking about a unit with base 51 attack, but you had 2 Brazen 2, aka now he hits 65 attack, and you're trying to tell me TA is going to help him. How in fuck's name is this helping him in any shape or form? It makes so, oh look, I overkilled those green units now. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, and now the blue fucks me up anyway, so no, don't actually go for this. If you're going for refine, go for def. Def is by far, in my opinion, his best one, because the problem with double brazen is you have no actual stat increments until you're at 80% or less HP. So you want to make it as easy as possible to get into that range, right? Simple. So, yeah. A Def Refine is actually the best option here. Def Refine and Closed Def will make him hit something like 48 HP and 42 Def. At that point, I'd say he's good enough. You don't really need to have TA to soften the damage you take from a green unit, so you can then hit Brazen range, which I think is the goal of TA in this. It doesn't help where it matters, in my opinion. So yeah, 42 def as a result. That's pretty solid. It's nothing amazing, but then when double Brazen procs, that's 56 def. 56 def with 65 attack, that's 28 damage from Bonfire. There's actual good stuff here, obviously. I just feel like the refine itself would have been proper and actually helpful instead of whatever Volzanger it got. So It's still S-. Honestly, if it had Brash Assault instead of fucking TA, that'd be an S tier Refined, straight up. The Brazen is just that solid. And honestly, in Brash Desperation range, which is something you can still do with this, though you lose the seal slot, you actually become an absolute monster wall breaker that can actually deal with a bunch of threat. And that one kind of makes sense. That one can still be a gimmicky unit, yes, but it can be a bonus unit that actually hold his own in battle when required. The other two, however, let's talk about the worst one. You might have noticed Naotan is this low on the list, while Takumi is 2 tier above. And telling yourself, what the fuck, Jay? Why is there 2 tier difference between those two characters? This is ridiculous. Well, yes it is ridiculous. I am completely sharing that feeling. Sadly, it is what it is, and Anna can't really abuse it while Takumi can. The difference is Takumi can actually get merged, Takumi can actually get IVs, Takumi has actual base attack, unlike this. Attack plus Takumi is 49 base attack. That's already 4 more attack than Anna. You see the difference here already? Like, that's actually pretty solid. And the speed, well, it's still not that hard to fix. Speed is easier to fix than attack the higher you go in arena, because you don't find high speed unit outside of Carla and Ira, and in really high tier arena, only Ira. And if not Ira, then no one has really good speed. In fact, she could probably double, like Anna could probably double most Zelgus that are in there with just a Fury buff. So it's like, alright, why do you have this? Why do you put movement on top of movement? This does not fix anything she has. Takumi doesn't have trouble in getting kills because he can get merges, he can get IVs. Speed plus, that's 32-36, then add merges, that's 36 base attack with 40 base speed. Do you see the thing here? There's a difference of 7 attack and 2 speed already. Yes, I'm not telling you you're going to 5-star plus 10 at Takumi. I'm just pointing out at absolute max, you're straight up better in stats and everything. So, yeah, you don't need that many merges to actually have a better Takumi. Either way, both of them are under A+. To me, a A+ unit is where it's actually worth refining. Anything lower is not. And yeah, Anna is just that bad. Because, see, another thing about Takumi is teleporting around to an ally is a good thing. Because you can outrange a ranged unit, teleport to your unit that is close of the ranged unit, kill the ranged unit, then like repo him out completely fine. You can't do that with Anna because you're forced to either take a blow, and then probably the enemy will repo out of there, because otherwise you are not close enough to fight. Or if they're melee, they're too close to fight, so you just teleport next to the unit and can't do anything with it. Unless you back off with the other unit, which is fucking horrible. Like, this kind of mobility is really good on a ranged unit, especially since you can combo this with a bond skill. But on a melee unit, it's like, okay, range, you'll take a blow if you want to actually use this effect on the next turn. And if they're too close, you just can't do anything unless you waste a turn. And you can also waste a turn to actually be able to initiate with the range unit situation. Needing to move 2 times to do 1 action is rarely worth it. And if like that's your main course of action in 99% of the cases, it's not helpful. What Anna is requiring, what Anna should have gotten as a refine, is something increasing her damage. As is, Naotan is so bad, I'd literally recommend a switching weapon. It's that bad. And I'm saying this because unless you run DC on her anyway, it doesn't really lower your score. If you run DC on her, then yes, you kind of have to run Naoton for max score, along with 240 SP skills. And it's like absolutely horrible. But on the other hand, you have something else that Ana can do, and that's probably something like Flashing Blade, Wrath with Moonbow, and Wogun. There you go. That's already better. Why? Why is that better than her fucking base weapon? Why? Because you get 20 damage on special, and Flashing Blade allows you to get to that special. 20 extra damage is insane. It actually helps you get kills. It actually helps because the problem with Ana is not so much everything, it's mostly her attack. Teleporting around doing no damage doesn't help you. 45 attack is not really enough to kill anything, especially since most of the heavy artillery, the higher you go in arena, is based on defense. 45 attack against like an average of 35 or more death is fucking worthless. Like, it boggles my mind to consider this to be a good refund. A good idea for her. Like, okay, it works thematically for a commander to actually, like, rush to the front lines. But, in reality, does that really help? No, it doesn't. That's literally giving a legendary weapon to, I don't know, Henry, and instead of actually trying to do something that makes so he specs quicker, or he does more damage on special, or he does more damage overall, or he becomes a better baiting unit, something like that, they would just be like, actually, let's give him a weapon that gives him plus 6 speed, 1 attack. Yay. Fucking yay. Useful. Like, it has utility in like 1 or 2 situations, but it's completely worthless in every other one. It's a shame. Honestly, I did not expect to have an Askr trio of all things to be in C tier, but it is what it is. It just doesn't help her. Oh, and for those curious, since I did it with Alphonse, this is what I did with Ana. There is a video for all 3 of those explaining my thinking for most of those sets. I don't know if I should put it in the description. If someone do want to see it, I'll just put it in the description, just ask in the comments, but otherwise I'm just going to leave it there because I think we can kind of understand already most of my thinking. It's pretty simple. It's just escape route 5.5 instead of fucking 3, like, as if escape route 3 is like the most broken skill ever. And the effect actually is just Wrath. Yeah, that is a very strong special, a very strong refine, sorry. But it's not really strong on Ana. Like, if it was on a character like, oh, I don't know, Ira, that would be insane, absolutely broken. But this is Ana we're talking about. Ana doesn't have a great source of damage. She just has 16 might on a 29 attack, can't have IVs, can't have merges. So, actually adding to that damage is really useful. And even then, just the Wodao effect could also have been working, but the whole point is essentially so you can charge high specials that way at 2 charge a turn. Just combo this with, like, I don't know, Moonbow, and you have like an extra 30 damage at the start of every battle. It's an option that actually works. And is not overpowered because it's Ana of all people. Instead, we got here have fucking Grimoire. Why? You'd think it would be like working at any point of HP at the very least, but no, it's literally like aerobatic 2, I think, but like working for everything, obviously. It's like, guys, why can I come up with better ideas than you do? This was like a no-brainer for me. Why is it so hard for you guys to understand? Anyway, back to something I prefer, Sharena. Now, my idea for Sharena was, in my opinion, better and could actually work in conjunction with actual synergy with teams. But it was so out there, I did not expect them to actually like come up with something like that. Instead, what we got was essentially Divine Naga in Lance form. You serious? Are you serious? The higher you go in Arena, the less fucking relevant this is. The only thing that actually buffs you in Arena, like in IT Arena, is it's going to be essentially rallies, and that's it. And sometimes tactics, but even those just dies off after a while. So, and even then, like, tactics are not exactly common. Definitely not common. So, as a result, this is hardly doing anything for you. The main thing that this would help you with is basically dealing with Blade Tome, of course, but you have 22 base res. What do you plan on tanking with Sharena that is magical? I can't tell you what. Literally nothing. It doesn't help you. Even if you remove all buff of a Blade Tome, tanking it is still a nightmare unless you have DC to prevent you yourself from being doubled, so you can actually one-shot her. If it's red. If it's not red, you're just fucked. In a lot of scenario anyway. There are some, like, if it's an unmerged enemy you're fighting, then yeah, I guess it could work, but it's so limiting. It's so limiting, it hurts. To give you an idea, this Refinement also gives 3 HP, so you have 46 HP. You have a bulk of 68. Alright, Lyn has, what, 49 attack? That's 27. If you do not one-shot her, you die. There are plenty of characters that can do this in the blue mage pool. And the green mage pool, don't get me started. Some of them can just straight up one-hit KO her, regardless of buff or not. So, yeah, this is kind of a pain. The Refine itself isn't bad. The Refine itself isn't completely horrible. It's a bit better than Nephanes in the sense that it actually can work in both phases. So in certain cases you can just move a character, then attack, and because of the extra speed / defense, you can double and get a kill. That actually matters. So that's kinda nice. But Bond still tends to be more on the defensive side than on the offensive side. At least when it comes down to melee unit. Ranged unit have a few ways to actually still use those bonds properly and safely. But melee units, not so much. So it's mostly tanking, and speed when tanking doesn't really help. The only situation this might actually help in is if you give Swordbreaker to Sharena, and you're dealing with, say, Bullfighter Zelgus or Bullfighter Drog, you can stop the double from Bullfighter because of it. Yes, I'm scratching the end of the barrel at this point for things that actually really helps. I'm sorry, but that's really the only situation I can think of that really helps. Because it can actually make the difference between a dead Sharena and a killing Zelgus Sharena. Though, killing is still very unlikely because she hits melee. Yay! So she has something like 61 attack with Fury against Zelgus. Zelgus can just tank that. Unless he's not merged. If he's not merged, then you can actually get the kill. However, how often is that gonna happen if you're actually finding Zelgus in arena? Thought so. It's kind of a shame, honestly. But hey, it's better than Anna. Yay! It is quite depressing to see that 2 of the 3 Askr trio basically got robbed, at least in my opinion. And Alphonse kind of got robbed as well, because TA of all things is just why? You gain nothing from using TA on this guy. This is holding him back, if anything. Why do you give him this? Also, for those curious, this was my idea for Sharena. Like I said, it's pretty out there. It's just a debuff spectrum. And then you add all the debuffs of the enemy together, cut it in half, and that's basically a straight up buff to every stats. So basically, if you have no support and all you do is just this threaten spectrum, which only works against melee unit, but anyway, she's not really a mage killer to begin with, so that's why I kind of focus on a threaten instead. This debuffs for 12 points, which means 6 points of everything. 6 attacks, 6 speed, 6 def, 6 res. On top of debuffing support for your entire team. If you combo this with ploys, for example, if you combo this with a full ploy Katarina or Arvis or whatever, this is a grand total of 18 points, which means you have 9 extra points of stats on everything. It sounds a bit broken, but that's with support, and without support it's just a 6-point splat all across the board, which, while it sounds really strong, it isn't that strong. It is extremely helpful because it lets you actually deal with certain merged unit, because she can't get merged or IVs, and her stat line is not exactly fantastic to begin with. But it's mostly so she has a bit more stats to deal with certain fights. Bold Fighter is still extremely dangerous to deal with, regardless of the color she's fighting. If she doesn't have Swordbreaker, Zelgus might actually kill her, for example. So, yikes! Just be careful. Just that would still be something you'd have to be wary of. So it's not broken. Like, all of those effects I came up with were in the mind of helping without being broken. And even then, they were a bit more broken than what I actually did. I do wish to do another episode about, like, Refinery that I would want to make myself. It's been a while since I've done one, but I think I'm kind of burnt out for videos right now. This is the 4th video I'm recording today. So, yeah, though after this video, there's no more video I really have to do. Thank fuck. I basically have covered everything that I wanted to cover. So, all it comes down to is going to be just... I want to just watch anime, I guess, tomorrow, and then after that I might actually work on a video with Refinery that I would like to come up with. And I mean, it's probably gonna be Sacred Stones. I did say I was going to do Sacred Stones on that video. So yeah. As usual, if you want my thinking about most of those placements, that's going to be in the description below. I'm going to leave a link for most characters. I will also say, I did move Soren up a tier. I did say I would increase Soren up a tier, since now you can actually buff his def a bit better, so you can actually use his Alphonse a bit better. He is still outright worse than Katarina in the role, in my opinion. Purely because green is a bit of a worse color when it comes down to tanking. So there's that, but also because chill attack, while nice, doesn't always hit the right target. So sometimes you will debuff a character that you're like, that's not something I want to actually tank to begin with, so whatever, right? Whereas Katarina can use attack ploy, which has a lot more precision on what you actually want to debuff. So this is actually much better. And running attack ploy on Soren, while possible, feels extremely pointless because of his weapon itself. It feels like you're running chill attack twice, essentially. And yikes, that's not really useful. Still, he's much better off that now that Drive Def is actually a more available C slot. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. It's actually the shortest video I've recorded today somehow, but I don't really have more to say. Those Refine really don't have much to say. Like, in general, when I talk about other Refine, I also have IVs to talk about, and here, they don't exist. I kind of hope we get more Refines than just the Askr trio. That'd be cool, because if not, this is very underwhelming for next month. I do not know when those refines are going to be out exactly, but oh well. As usual, Discord will be in the description below. My Twitch will also be in the description below. I stream on Wednesdays, 10 a.m. EST. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, or in the comments, whichever. See ya.